Daniel slammed the bank door open, rain pouring off his drenched coat like tears from a broken sky. "You think I'm some fraud? Look at me. I'm real. Damn it!" he shouted, his voice cracking as the teller behind the counter froze, eyes wide with disdain. In that moment, under the fluorescent lights of First National Bank in downtown Manhattan, Daniel's world shattered. But little did he know, this humiliation would ignite a fire that would burn through betrayal, love, and redemption. Daniel Harper stood there, soaked to the bone, his cheap wallet clutched in trembling hands. It was 2018, and New York City was in the grip of a brutal autumn storm, the kind that turned the streets into rivers and dreams into nightmares. He had come to cash a check, his first real paycheck from a startup gig coding apps for small businesses. But William Thorne, the teller with the perfectly knotted tie and judgmental stare, had other ideas. "Sir, this ID doesn't match our records. It looks questionable," William said, his voice clipped and professional, but laced with an undercurrent of superiority. Daniel's heart pounded. He was 25, fresh out of community college, and had scraped by on odd jobs since his parents kicked him out at 18 for coming out as gay. The ID was legit, but it was from a small town in Ohio, faded from years in his pocket. "I swear, it's me. Please, I need this money," Daniel pleaded, his voice barely above a whisper now. The line behind him shifted impatiently, murmurs rippling like the rain outside. William glanced at the security guard, who nodded subtly. "I'm sorry, but policy is policy." Next, humiliated, Daniel stormed out, the rejection stinging worse than the cold wind. He wandered the slick sidewalks of Midtown, his mind racing. How could a stranger dismiss him so easily? Little did he know, William wasn't just any teller. He was the son of the bank's vice president, groomed for bigger things, hiding his own secrets behind that polished facade. That night, Daniel crashed on his roommate's couch in a cramped Brooklyn apartment. Sleep evaded him, replaced by fantasies of revenge. But fate, that cruel joker, had a twist. The next day, while scrolling job boards at a coffee shop, Daniel spotted an ad for a tech internship at Thorne Financial Group, the parent company of First National. Thorne, as in William Thorne, his pulse quickened. This could be his shot. He applied, tweaking his resume to highlight his coding skills. Weeks later, an interview call came. Dressed in his only suit, Daniel entered the sleek offices on Wall Street. And there, in the lobby, was William, clipboard in hand, coordinating interns. Their eyes met. Recognition flickered in William's blue eyes, but he masked it with a smile. "Daniel Harper, welcome. I'm William Thorne, your supervisor." Daniel's stomach flipped. Supervisor? This was the guy who'd humiliated him. But he needed the job. "Nice to meet you," he lied, shaking William's hand. The grip was firm, warm, unexpectedly so. As days turned to weeks, Daniel dove into the work, optimizing algorithms for fraud detection. Ironically enough, William was demanding but fair, pushing Daniel to excel. Late nights in the office led to shared pizzas and conversations. William opened up about his pressure cooker life, expectations from his father, the constant need to prove himself. One evening, as thunder rumbled outside, William confessed over coffee, "I hate this world sometimes. All the facades." Daniel nodded, sensing a vulnerability. Me too. Especially when people judge you without knowing. Their bond grew. Subtle touches, a hand on the shoulder, lingering glances. Daniel felt a spark, something he'd buried since his last heartbreak. William, too, was gay but closeted, terrified of his conservative family's reaction. Their first kiss happened in the server room, amid humming machines. "I shouldn't," William whispered, but pulled Daniel closer. It was electric, forbidden. Love bloomed in secret meetings, stolen weekends in the Hamptons, whispers in Central Park. But cracks appeared. William's father, Reginald Thorne, announced a merger that would cut jobs, including interns like Daniel. William knew but said nothing, fearing it would drive Daniel away. Daniel discovered the truth accidentally, overhearing a call. "You're cutting my position? And you didn't tell me?" He confronted William in their shared hotel room during a conference. "It's business, Dan. I love you, but I can't risk everything," William said, eyes pleading. Betrayal hit like a punch. Love or convenience? Daniel spat, storming out. He quit the next day, vowing revenge. Using skills honed at Thorne, he founded his own fintech startup, Harper Secure, specializing in AI-driven banking security. Investors flocked. His app detected fraud with unprecedented accuracy. 2 years flew by. Harper Secure exploded, valued at millions. Daniel, now 27, was a rising star in Silicon Alley. William, meanwhile, rose to branch manager at First National, but the bank struggled with outdated tech and scandals. Then, the twist, Thorne Financial sought acquisition. Daniel's company was the bidder. He controlled the bank's future. Daniel sat in the boardroom of Thorne Financial's headquarters, the Manhattan skyline sprawling behind floor-to-ceiling windows like a conquered kingdom. It was 2020 now, the world reeling from a pandemic, but Daniel's empire had thrived online. He adjusted his tailored suit Armani, not thrift store, and watched Reginald Thorne sweat across the table. "We're prepared to offer $500 million, Daniel said coolly, his team of lawyers nodding. Reginald's face paled. "But with conditions. Full tech overhaul using Harper Secure systems." William wasn't in the room. He was downstairs, managing the branch where it all began. Daniel had insisted on a private tour later to assess operations. As papers were signed, Daniel's mind wandered to the past. After the betrayal, he'd thrown himself into work, nursing a broken heart. Dates came and went, but none matched William's intensity, the way he'd laugh at Daniel's jokes, or hold him through nightmares. Yet, the pain lingered. William had chosen family legacy over love. Or had he? Post-merger, Daniel arrived at the bank unannounced. The same fluorescent lights buzzed, the same tellers hustled. But now, he owned it. William looked up from his desk, shock etching his features. "Daniel? What are you?" "I bought the place," Daniel interrupted, voice steady. "Or rather, my company did." William stood, tie askew, eyes searching Daniel's face. "You succeeded. I'm happy for you. Are you?" Daniel stepped closer, the office door clicking shut. "After you let me go without a fight?" William winced. "I was scared. My father. He controls everything. Coming out would destroy me. More than losing me?" Daniel's voice cracked, emotion bubbling up. They talked for hours, walls crumbling. William admitted his regrets, how he'd followed Daniel's rise in the news, aching with pride and loss. "I never stopped loving you." Daniel's resolve wavered. "Prove it." That night, in William's Upper East Side apartment, they rekindled what was lost. Bodies intertwined, whispers of forgiveness. But reality intruded. Reginald discovered the relationship through office gossip. "You're fired," Reginald barked at William the next week. "No son of mine will tarnish our name with this." William packed his desk, devastated. Daniel offered him a job at Harper Secure, but William refused. "I need to stand on my own." Separation again. William moved to San Francisco, taking a low-level tech job, coming out publicly in a viral LinkedIn post. Support poured in. He started a nonprofit for LGBTQ+ youth in finance. Daniel watched from afar, his success hollow without William. The company boomed, but loneliness gnawed. In 2022, a cyber attack hit Thorn, now Harper Bank. Hackers breached old systems, stealing data. Daniel led the recovery, but blame fell on past management. William returned to New York for a conference. They met at a bar in Chelsea, the neighborhood pulsing with life. "You look good," Daniel said, sliding a whiskey over. "You too." "Congrats on the Forbes list." William smiled, but sadness lingered. They talked of dreams deferred. William had found purpose in advocacy, Daniel in innovation. Sparks flew again. But betrayal's shadow loomed. William confessed. During their first romance, he'd leaked Daniel's ideas to his father, securing a promotion. "You what?" Daniel recoiled. "I was weak. Ambitious." "I'm sorry." Fury surged. Daniel left, vowing no more. Yet, love persisted. Months later, Daniel funded William's nonprofit anonymously. Small gestures, flowers on birthdays, notes of encouragement. High drama erupted at a gala in 2023. Reginald, retired but influential, cornered Daniel. "Stay away from my son. He's straight, always was." Daniel laughed bitterly. "You don't know him at all." William overheard, confronting his father publicly. "I'm gay, Dad. And I love Daniel." The room gasped. Reginald stormed out, disowning him. In the aftermath, William sought Daniel. "I choose you." For real this time, reconciliation was tentative, built on therapy and trust. They moved in together in a Brooklyn brownstone, blending lives. But conflict brewed. A rival firm poached Daniel's tech, suspecting insider sabotage. Suspicion fell on William. Who else knew the codes? Daniel demanded, pacing their living room as rain lashed the windows, a callback to their stormy beginnings. William's face crumpled. "You think I'd betray you again? After everything?" Evidence mounted. Emails from William's old Thorn account, accessed recently. "Explain this." Daniel thrust his laptop forward. I logged in to close it. But someone must have hacked it." William's voice trembled. Trust fractured. Daniel moved out temporarily, crashing at a hotel. The press caught wind. Fintech mogul's love triangle with ex-bank heir turned sour. William fought back, hiring a PI. The culprit? Reginald, bitter and vengeful, using backdoors to frame his son. Confrontation at the Thorn family estate in the Hamptons. Daniel and William arrived uninvited, waves crashing like their emotions. "You did this," William accused his father. Reginald smirked. "To protect the legacy. You two are an abomination." Daniel stepped forward. "Love isn't an abomination. Your hate is." A heated argument ensued. Reginald collapsed from stress, a mild heart attack. In the hospital, realizations dawned. "I was wrong," Reginald whispered to William. "Forgive me." Healing began. Reginald stepped back, endorsing their relationship privately. With the sabotage exposed, Daniel's company recovered stronger. He and William married in a quiet ceremony in Central Park, cherry blossoms falling like confetti. Life settled into rhythm. Brunches in the village, advocacy work together. Daniel mentored queer youth. William expanded his nonprofit. But fate tested them again. In 2024, William was diagnosed with early-stage lymphoma, stress-induced, doctors said. Fear gripped Daniel. "I can't lose you," he sobbed at William's bedside. Chemotherapy was grueling. Daniel paused work, caring for him, cooking soups, reading aloud from favorite books. Through bald heads and nausea, their bond deepened. "You're my rock," William murmured. Remission came, a miracle. They traveled to California, hiking Big Sur, reaffirming vows on cliffs overlooking the Pacific. Back in New York, they adopted a rescue dog, symbolizing new beginnings. Yet, the story's heart lay in humanity. Forgiveness over revenge, love over legacy. Daniel reflected on that first rainy day. From rejection to ownership, not just of the bank, but of his destiny. Their love story inspired others. Pride parades, they marched hand in hand, symbols of resilience. One evening, as snow blanketed the city, Daniel proposed a book, their memoir. "Let's share our truth," he said. William agreed, tears in his eyes. Writing it together, they relived highs and lows, the betrayal that nearly broke them, the romance that mended. Publication in 2025 brought acclaim. "A testament to queer love in corporate America," reviews raved. But privately, it was their victory. In the end, Daniel controlled more than the bank's future. He held William's heart, and vice versa. Their story wasn't perfect, but it was real, human. As the memoir hit shelves, interviews flooded in. On a crisp morning talk show in Times Square, Daniel and William sat side by side, hands clasped. "Tell us about that first encounter," the host prodded. Daniel chuckled. "He thought I was a fraud. Refused to cash my check." William blushed. "Worst mistake of my life. But it led to the best." Laughter rippled through the audience. Their chemistry was palpable, lingering looks, gentle teases. Behind the glamour, challenges persisted. Reginald's health declined. William visited often, bridging gaps. One visit, Reginald gripped Daniel's hand. "Thank you for loving my son." Tears flowed. Family redefined. Professionally, Harperthorne innovated. Inclusive policies for LGBTQ+ employees, scholarships for underprivileged coders like young Daniel. William spearheaded diversity training, drawing from personal pain. A subplot emerged. A young intern at the bank, Alex, reminded Daniel of himself, queer, struggling. They mentored him, watching him flourish. But drama resurfaced. A former rival sued for patent infringement, dredging up old sabotage. Courtroom battles were fierce. William testified, exposing Reginald's past actions, painful but necessary. They won, but at a cost. Media scrutiny intensified. Paparazzi hounded them. "Is your marriage a PR stunt?" headlines screamed. Daniel snapped at one, defending their love. In solitude, they reaffirmed. A weekend in the Catskills. Cabin fires, stargazing. "Remember when I owned nothing?" Daniel whispered. "Now we own everything together," William replied. Intimacy reignited, passionate and tender. Back in the city, they hosted fundraisers, turning pain into purpose. William's health scare inspired a foundation for cancer support in the queer community. Daniel donated millions, his wealth a tool for good. As 2025 dawned, they planned a family, surrogacy discussions, dreams of fatherhood. But by tragedy loomed subtly, William's remission wasn't eternal. Checkups were vigilant. One night, over dinner in their brownstone, William said, "If anything happens, know you saved me." Daniel hushed him. "We're forever." Their story's climax wasn't the acquisition or wedding, but quiet moments, cooking together, walking the dog in Prospect Park. Humanity shone in forgiveness. Daniel pardoned William's betrayal, William his father's hate. Romantic gestures abounded, surprise trips to Fire Island, love notes in lunchboxes. Kitch Tin peeked at a corporate espionage attempt. An insider leaked merger plans. Investigation revealed a disgruntled ex-employee from Thorn Days. Chase through New York's underbelly subways. Alleys ended in arrest. Adrenaline-fueled, they made love that night, bodies affirming life. Emotionally, they delved deeper in therapy, unpacking traumas. Daniel admitted his revenge fantasies, William his closeted shame. Growth was profound. Socially, they advocated for marriage equality expansions, testifying in D.C. Networks grew, friendships with other queer couples in finance. One couple, inspired, came out publicly. Ripple effects. As the year progressed, William's scans cleared. Celebration. A vow renewal on a yacht in the Hudson. Guests included Reginald, frail but smiling. Toasts to resilience. Daniel's speech. From a rainy rejection to this love wins. Applause thundered. In quiet aftermath, they danced under stars, the city their witness. Their tale embodied American dreams. Rags to riches, love against odds. But grounded in reality, no fairy tales, just hard-won happiness. Years blended into a tapestry of shared life. By 2026, their son, Elijah, arrived via surrogate, a bundle of joy with William's eyes and Daniel's spirit. Parenthood transformed them. Sleepless nights in the nursery, but filled with wonder. "Look at what we built," Daniel whispered, cradling the baby as William watched, teary-eyed. The bank thrived under joint leadership, Daniel as CEO, William as COO. Inclusive culture became industry standard. Conflicts arose, balancing work and family. Arguments over late nights, but resolved with communication. One scare, Elijah's fever at 2 months. Hospital vigil bonded them further. Recovery brought gratitude. Advocacy expanded. They lobbied for anti-discrimination laws, faces of change. Media dubbed them power couple of fintech, but humility remained. Daniel volunteered at shelters, remembering his homeless nights post-coming out. William counseled youth, sharing his journey. Betrayals lessons lingered, trust earned daily. A plot twist. Reginald's will left shares to William, with a note, "Make it better than I did." They did, diversifying, going green. Romantically, passion evolved into deep companionship. Anniversaries marked with recreations. Rainy walks, bank visits. Humor lightened. "Remember when you wouldn't serve me?" Daniel teased. "Now I serve you breakfast in bed," William quipped. Emotional depth in quiet talks. Fears of loss, joys of love. Human element, imperfections. Daniel's workaholism, William's anxiety. They navigated, stronger. In 2030, Elijah's first words, "Dada," hearts melted. Community impact grew. Scholarships funded dreams. Their foundation saved lives. Reflection on origins. That fateful day. "If you hadn't refused me," Daniel mused. "We wouldn't be here," William finished. Ketuk Nan Van. Not happily ever after, but authentically. Aging gracefully, they retired to a farm upstate. City visits for grand events. Legacy. Love's triumph over adversity. In final pages of their updated memoir, Daniel wrote, "We controlled our future not through power, but through heart." William added, "And that's the American way, reinventing, loving fiercely." Their story inspired generations, a beacon for queer youth. In twilight years, hand in hand, they watched sunsets, content. No by kitsch finale, just enduring love. Yet, in a nod to reality, William's cancer returned mildly in old age. They faced it together, cherishing moments. Daniel's last words to him, "You were my best plot twist." William smiled, "And you, my redemption," passing peacefully, surrounded by family. Elijah carried the torch, proud of his dads. The bank, a monument to inclusion. Enduring message, questioned identities can rise to redefine worlds. Love, in all its kitsch tin, Kam Suk, Langman glory, prevails.